Fellow Falcoholics, what is up? Welcome to episode 161 of the Falcoholic Live. I'm your host, Kevin Knight, joined by a very, very special guest tonight. He is former All-Pro and five-time Pro Bowl Falcons wide receiver, Andre Rison. Andre, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing awesome. How you guys doing?
That's great, man. That's Falcons legend.
Yes,
legend. You gotta get it right. Falcons legend, man.
Exactly. Well, we're super excited to have you on, Andre. We're going to get hopefully some great insight from you tonight. I know you've got a new book coming out as well that we're going to talk about. Also with us tonight, as you guys can see, we have Eric Robinson at the very easy to remember at _Eric_Robinson. Eric, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Ready to talk some Falcons football on this bye week.
Excellent. Also with us, we have Director of Guest Personnel, Evan Birchfield, at Evan Birchfield on Twitter. Evan, how are you doing?
I am great, and I'm thankful for Andre coming on tonight.
Absolutely. We appreciate that as well. And then finally, last but not least, we have Adnan Ikic at Say Which Way on the Twitters. Adnan, how are you doing?
Doing very well. Enjoying the Falcons bye week, enjoying the Braves' success. It's a good time in Atlanta right now.
It really is. It's an exciting time. The Falcons won, so it's definitely a nice week for us as well. Guys, we're going to talk with Andre for a bit, then we're going to dive into that Week 5 victory over the Jets, talk some bye week stuff, give you some updates on injuries and all that as we get them. But yeah, let's open things up. I know you guys probably have some questions for Andre, so I will open the floor to you guys if you have anything to get out. This is your chance, so.
Honestly, man, first question I have for you is, man, I want to know, what you see. I'm pretty sure you watch the Falcons and you keep up with everything that's going on with the franchise right now. What's your insight on the state of the team and the direction that they're going?
It's funny, because a lot of dialogue over the offseason and prior to the offseason was about Julio.
Yeah.
Where he was going to be, where he was going to end up. So that ate up a lot of time, a lot of months in between.
Yeah.
What moves to be made by our organization and also moves to be made by players to get better themselves.
Right.
Better in the offseason. A lot of people wanted to always rant and rave about, the Deion Sanders and Andre Risons and what we did, this, that. I know one thing we did. We prepared. You don't become great football players without that preparation. And so I can see it. The old pros can see it from day one when we watch from mini camp all the way to when the season starts. If a guy's been getting that extra work in, or if he's taking it for granted, like, hey, I'm on the active roster. I know I'm gonna be playing, and that's what I look for. And because that's key into the Atlanta Falcons organization compared to the other organizations that are quote unquote jockeyed already preseason winners.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl contenders.
Yeah.
And you don't hear your name in the Super Bowl contending names being mentioned in the offseason leading into the season.
Yeah.
You should take that personal.
Yeah.
As a player, you should take it personal. As leaders of the team, you should take it personal. And so it's easy for us to see if they did it or not. And
right.
Looks like they spent time with each other, and that's how you win close games. And that's how you win games that you don't supposed to win. And, you get yourselves in the first 8 games, and then you fight for it in the last 8, but you get yourselves in the first 8. And I like where we headed. I don't know a lot about management. I've only been back since I left the Falcons. I've only been asked to come one time. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, it's amazing. And for years, I used to wonder why I wasn't in the Ring of Honor, stuff like that, and to be an all-time leading Falcon receiver for so long in a short time.
Yeah.
I used to feel it was unfair, but man, life goes on, people move on, and I live a great life. Just built a beautiful home, got beautiful wife, beautiful kids, man, and life couldn't be better. Just been nominated for the Hall of Fame class of 22.
Yeah.
Big congrats.
Congratulations on that.
I appreciate it. And what's crazy about the Falcons, I have no ties to them.
Right. It's wild. Like, I mean, hey, you're
can you come help Ridley? Can you come help? Can you come? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
only gave you over 50 touchdowns.
Yeah,
Only, yeah.
only.
So,
You know, you played
I don't bat on the door. I don't beat on the door. You know what I'm saying?
right.
I
Mm-hmm.
play for Mr. Blank. So that's understanding. But what's ironic, I talked to Michael Vick yesterday.
Okay,
And we're going to start doing camps across the country, quarterback and wide receiver camps across the country.
nice.
Him and I, and we're really excited about it. We think that's going to be huge. It's going to be big because it's like fighting giants and pulling teeth, man, to get a job.
Yeah,
Right.
Or they get coaching, you know, and you cut the TV on, and I don't know who in the hell coaching the wide receivers.
Speaking of wide receivers, man, you
I
played.
know a little bit, you know.
Speaking of wide receivers, you played in the great era of wide receivers, man. You played in the same era with guys like Jerry Rice and Tim Brown and Herman Moore and those guys that come to mind. Guys nowadays, who are your favorite receivers to watch, and what is your thoughts on the current state of the wide receivers in the NFL now?
I think it's getting better. I think the veterans of it now that used to be youngins,
Yeah,
realize that it's just not about running routes. You know, you're gonna get.
right.
It's just not about running routes.
Everybody can run.
Everybody can run. You know,
Right.
you know where to be on time. You got to be disciplined, but you got to catch in games.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of all these guys that's got 1,000 catches, and I hear all these reporters and guys doing podcasts giving all these kudos to these guys like they're so great. And I'm like, he wouldn't even make our team. Like for real. Like some of these guys that you name off, I ain't gonna mention names, and
Right.
they wouldn't make our team, dude. Plus, if I can go over there and check you, that's how I get it. If I
yeah,
can on the other side of the ball and I can check you, you're not what they say you are. Trust me.
right.
The ones you be naming off, I can go check. They
Yeah,
can check me. You know, and so we used to evaluate it like that, you know,
right.
and on both sides of the ball. And so I look for guys who are like not old school, but the ones that are paying homage to the old school remedies as far as being prepared for the game and your opponent. I like Devontae Adams.
A technician, man.
Because you're watching a pro.
Yeah,
Some guys are overrated, you know, and I ain't gonna call no names.
yeah,
Just because you throw the ball up and just because somebody's 6'6", and I don't know who in the hell invented the 50-50 ball. Where the quarterback throws the ball, dude. It's the wide receiver's ball. It's my ball. You know, who came up with this 50-50, all these new personnel groupings? It's still trips. It's still twins.
yeah.
Hell out of here. So I take Devontae Adams. Give me Ridley. Give me Devontae on one side. Give me Ridley on the other side. And then give me my horse, Hopkins. Hopkins makes plays.
Yeah,
You know, he makes
Body
plays.
control.
And he makes plays to win games.
right.
You know, I hear all these receivers going to NFL Hall of Fame, and I can name off several real quick that I have more touchdowns than.
Yeah.
When I retired top 5 all time. So I really could give a damn about who's talking about this or who's talking about that. When I retired from the game, I was top 5, top 7 all time. So when you say the Rices and the Reeds and the Browns, where the hell was I at?
Right. You
Where the
should be
hell
in that
was Andre
conversation.
Rison? He was playing
Yeah.
for the Atlanta
Yeah.
Falcons, putting up numbers, dude.
Yeah. Well,
Winning
we know
games.
why.
Then
We
I'm
know
out
why,
there.
right? Yeah, we
You
know
went
why.
to-
So.
Yeah, and speaking of the
Green Bay,
touchdowns,
give me a Super Bowl. Okay. Then I go to Kansas City. I go back to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
The AFC Championship game. Okay. Then Gannis, they come out to Oakland. We go to the AFC Championship again, and I scored damn near double figures in touchdowns again.
Yep.
yeah.
You know, I scored double figures in touchdowns 5 straight years. But,
Yeah.
you know, so I don't know what I needed to do to get in that conversation what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
if you ask me who I like Devontae Adams. Give me Ridley. I gotta have Ridley on the other side.
Okay.
And not only just to stretch the field. You know, he does a lot of small stuff that people never gonna give me credit for because he ain't 6'6". He ain't 6'5".
That's where the game is now, man.
E-Rod went out.
I'm
Yeah.
out.
What? What happened?
I went
Can
out.
you hear us?
Went out.
hello.
Can you hear me?
He might have lost
See if
our
you
audio.
can bring it back.
Can you hear us at all, Andre?
At all?
Yo,
Can you hear us?
Here,
there we
we
go.
can,
We
Okay,
can
we're
hear
good. We're good.
Nope,
Perfect.
still not in.
Oh no.
no,
You're not in?
I can't hear.
technical,
Did somebody mute themselves?
Oh no.
technical difficulties.
We good.
Hold on, guys. Gonna get it fixed.
No action.
No action.
That was
Uh
Jerry Rice, man. That was Jerry Rice. Y'all can hear me? That was Jerry Rice.
Okay, hold on. Let me check
That
on
was
this.
Jerry
real
Rice,
quick.
Yeah, that
dude.
was Jared, man.
Oh my gosh. All right, hold on.
I don't know what happened to the volume, man.
That might be on his.
Yeah, I mean, let me type it in the chat here for him.
But you just well.
Some technical difficulties. And now.
Hold on. Check your computer audio. It's probably the technical difficulties. I get that. I used to get that a lot in Zoom.
Might have
The audio.
Kevin Knight.
shut off.
might have muted your speakers. Dang, Kevin.
You know, I'm not trying to call anyone out here, but
She was gonna edit and I think she said
sometimes you got those, you know, sometimes you got those touchpad things on the laptop, right, where you just hover your hand over it.
No, Cam want too much.
Well, she wanted me to like stand right here and show the video without the video because she wanted
Should we
me
get
to
him
take
to
the
like
video.
hang up and call
and
right now?
No, Cam want
might
too much. We got to see what Kevin Knight did.
That
Kevin
might.
Knight didn't.
Let's get him.
She said Kevin Hart.
I do enjoy
Kevin
that you're
Knight
getting
last
blamed
name
for this,
to
Kevin.
change the Hart.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart.
Tell him,
Kevin.
yeah.
Where they at?
Tell him to hang up and call right
Yeah, I
back.
did. I put that
No,
in
I
chat
didn't
too.
fall asleep.
Where you at? Where you
Thank
at?
you,
We
thank you
in there
guys for
somewhere.
your
We in there
patience.
somewhere.
This
Cut
is
the lights on.
this is very entertaining actually.
That's almost dead.
Unprecedented.
Son.
Unprecedented.
That look even better.
It actually does.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever had this actually happen before. So I'm
No,
actually
it'd be
enjoying
cool
this
as
a little
Kevin
bit.
Knight.
Oh, come on.
Have a better production
We're
team.
not talking about
Kevin's a household name.
Come on,
Apparently.
Literally, yeah.
Kevin. And now.
Can you hear us, Andre?
I'm telling y'all, it was a 49er dude. It was somebody from the 49ers.
Yep, somebody has infiltrated
Mm-hmm.
the show
Had
and
to.
shut
Money
down
got somebody.
Andre's audio. We are hot on the trail of whoever this person
now?
was.
Are we
It
good
was
now?
probably Kevin.
Can you hear us,
good now?
Andre? Andre?
Hello, Andre?
No, he can't.
Oh,
Is there a way to
Tell him to hang up
kick
and call
him
back.
and then?
I mean, I
and
can.
just-
I don't know if it'll like let him back in if I actually kick him.
Interesting. Okay.
Mike back on, Mike off.
Can you hear us?
can you hear us?
Good? We good? We good?
It's in.
No, he still can't hear us.
Nope.
Nope.
It's in now. Nope.
No.
Raise hand.
Oh,
I know what I'm
no.
gonna do. Watch this.
You gonna hang up and call
Just
right
hang
back?
up.
He
Yeah,
gonna do it.
that's what I would do. I love it.
Oh my god.
This is what happens. This is how you guys know the show's live.
Hey,
We
this
can't
is
fake
bad
this.
Moon.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
bad moon. Yep. So
It's a
you know
bad
you
moon.
can't fake this sort of live call thing. You know this is how you know this is a homegrown program right here. So we appreciate Andre for trying, and I love that he just continued to talk. Like most people would just kind of
Oh,
like
yeah.
shut down if
Yeah,
their
he
audio
just-
goes out.
yeah,
He's just
he-
like, nah,
he
I'm just gonna keep
showed
going. Yeah.
Yeah, he showed everybody in the household. I thought we was gonna get a tour of the crib at first.
I'd be down for that. You know, I'm open. I'm just happy to have him on. I'm happy we got even 5 minutes with him is really awesome. Honestly, if that's all we can
I'm sure
get,
he's,
you know.
Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna be back.
Oh, I'm sure he's
Andre-
gonna try. Yeah, of course.
That's
But
Andre Rison, man.
Yep, yep.
You don't even have to be a Falcons fan to recognize like that's.
You could tell the disrespect he feels, and I don't.
oh yeah, I don't blame him.
If the Falcons have done, and they've done several bad things, it's not appreciating the like legends that they've actually had,
Yeah,
in my opinion, at least.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he said himself, since he left Atlanta, he came back once,
Yep.
and he left Atlanta in 1990, after 1994, like in
I wonder
1995.
what,
I mean-
I wonder what game that was that he came back for.
Yeah, I'm curious now.
I don't know.
Actually,
I'm sure it was like one of them early 2000 ones or something. But if I can, just real quick, for Falcons fans watching who like are more modern, I guess, and don't really have a good clue of Andre Rison, he is currently fourth, and this is franchise records for the Falcons, fourth in receptions, 423, fifth all-time in receiving yards, 5,633, fourth in receiving touchdowns, 56, and his receiving yards per game is 72.2. It's second, only behind Julio. Like he was, I mean, when you think of the guys who are ahead of him in those other categories, it's basically Julio, Roddy White, and I Terrence Mathis,
even
maybe.
even
Alfred
even
Jenkins.
the modern current Falcons fans.
Now,
Can you hear us now?
We're back.
Oh, there it goes.
We're back.
still no voice.
Oh,
It must be speakers. It must be
man.
the
Voice,
speakers.
man. No voice.
Probably just
It's
Huh?
definitely got to be
I
some
ain't got no
speakers.
Come on, Kevin Knight.
I'm trying, man. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. I hope that's not an insulting question, but
No.
gonna try it again.
He
Hold on.
might be muted, like on his. I don't know.
But he can see us though, right?
Raise
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah, and the thing is, we can hear him perfectly well.
Perfectly fine. Yeah.
Okay.
I know there's a lot of
See if your audio.
I know there's a lot of kids in here, so somebody might be like a very technical sleuth situation. So, because all of you guys can hear, we can
Hold
hear
up.
each other, so
Hold
it doesn't
up.
seem
We
like
can
it's
hear
on
it.
our end. Yeah.
Well, what's weird is it's like he shut his mic
I heard-
off, but we
I heard
can
all
hear
that.
him.
I mean, I can hear him. I can hear him just fine. Yeah.
He raised her hand.
It sounds like you said something, so your hand will be lowered.
So your hand will be lowered.
Nah, they gotta be the 49ers.
Gotta be the 49ers. Gotta be.
Daddy's teeth are yellow.
They're Bill Walsh ghost. George Seifert ghost. It's somebody.
Somebody probably hacked into it.
Oh, definitely. He's definitely Jerry Rice.
Probably like those hackers on Rebecca. You know Rebecca Zamala, right?
I
Yeah.
don't
The
care
blondie.
about Rebecca.
It's the Saints. Someone said it's the Saints.
Hey, Rob, you see what I gotta deal with, man?
Well,
That's exactly what it is. It's the
Hey, y'all gotta get the book. The book is awesome.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, Andre, how
Hey,
about you
get
tell
him.
us
Tell him.
about
Yeah,
your
just
book?
yeah, just.
Yeah,
tell
yeah,
him.
we can just
okay.
ask him
Yeah.
in the chat.
Well, I
That's
tell you
fine.
what,
Yeah.
the book. All right. The book it's called Wide Open. It's an awesome book. Got great pictures in it, great pics. Talk about my great friends, then and now, and just let the truth be known too about certain situations where the narrative was already printed and written by the media or whatever it was. But it's an inspirational book. If I had to put one word on it, you know. If you ever went through anything in life, it's a great book to read. If you ever doubted yourself, it's a great book to read. If you ever felt like you were underappreciated, it's a awesome book to read. If you believe in faith, it's a great book to read. If you got plans on being successful, and beating anything that comes at you, that tries to take your intangibles away. I felt like at some point in time, not only my character but just my charisma, just everything was trying to be stripped from me, and I just had to get my feet back up under my ground, my feet back up under me, and stand on solid ground, and that's when I decided to write the book. Kamala Douglas wrote it. She spent time with Eric Dickerson. The Hall of Famer Eric Dickerson did the foreword. Stan Lee from Marvel. The great Stan Lee
Stan
from
Lee.
Marvel.
Wow.
Gave me the collector's item.
Yeah.
I'm actually in the book as Spider-Man. All that good stuff. And so
Oh,
Wow.
that was written by Stan Lee himself. And so
You got the whole crew. There's like a
And
whole
so,
ensemble cast there.
it took about 2.5 years. Also took me some soul searching with the organizations I played for too, on what I was going to actually reveal. Talked about a lot of issues that we discuss on an everyday basis. Why aren't there more minority coaches? Why aren't there more people in minorities in management? And then when they are, it seems like they're hand selected as far as their people, as opposed to ex-players. And I think, it's funny. We didn't have the internet back then. We didn't have a lot of media resources. And we actually, players like Deion Sanders and myself, we were the internet. And I don't think we get the credit for it.
Yeah.
You know, it's easy for somebody to jump on a podcast or do an interview and bash somebody. It's like I sat down with my son one night and we were watching NFL Network, and I'm looking at Jimmy Smith and Keenan McCarty bash me.
Daddy?
On NFL Network. 40, 30 years, 25 years later. But that goes to show you what type of people that were inside locker rooms.
Hey, dog!
Fake, non-religious, propaganda guys, bigots, you name it. Just recently we had, and as much as it hurt for me to say it, we just had John Gruden, on something. But yet if I say something, if Andre Rison says something back in the 90s about something, that the locker room ain't right. This locker room is divided, but won't nobody say nothing about it. Blacks are over here, whites are over there. Blacks go eat after the game here, whites go eat after there. Boom. Ain't no black people in the stands watching no NFL games. Can't afford it. But there's a lot of white people that can't afford it as well. Mexicans, Italians as well. But I just know after high school, black people ain't in the stands no more. But I know what's on the field in between the lines, And I think it's very unfair to former players that try to get into coaching, and they send us through all kind of loopholes. You have to coach in elementary, junior high, high school, before they claim that you know the game, or you even get a shot. And then the Rooney Rule was a joke. So those are some of the things that you actually read about in the book, more so than some gimmick shit. I talk about times I had 3 touchdowns in the first quarter, and then I wouldn't see the ball no more. Talk about why the Falcons didn't put an offer on the table when I was a free agent, nor Deion, nor Scott Case, nor Brian Jordan. Those are things that you go to sleep with and have to swallow. All-time leading receiver there in history in 5 years, dude. You don't make an offer, and what I did for the city of Atlanta, and I still do, and will continue to do. But those are just some of the things we talk about. Then we talk about the streets. We talk about professional athletes having to survive in these streets and not knowing how. Because once they go pro, you're asked to be a certain way, live a certain way, carry yourself a certain way, which you should. But you should also know, too, that one day your ass ain't going to be playing no more, and you're going to have to know how to survive out here from 9 to 5, and ain't nobody from the organization going to be calling you, talking about, come do the fundraiser for me with Jesse Tuggle. Ain't nobody going to be calling you. Ain't no former player going to be calling you either that also work for the organization, because he want that spot. And he don't want you to come take that limelight, nor that shine, nor that spot. And so a lot of people call it inferior. I call it just downright just scared. And to have the best people in your organization that you can get to help you be a successful organization, as opposed to I'm just going to pick who I want to pick and who somebody say pick. We've gotten so far away from it. You don't even know who coaching. You don't even know who on the sideline. You barely know who playing unless you're a fan of the game. We focus so much on betting. We focus so much on fantasy leagues that the players have become fantasy league players. As opposed to, we didn't even know the fantasy shit was going on, and we was putting up fantasy numbers out off the wall. But we didn't have a clue on what fantasy football was. We didn't have a clue on what betting on the game was like that. It just, times were different. And you have to change with times, and the book does change. The book travels through time, because I played in the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s. And like I said, you don't become good by not working hard. And then only the great ones, they work when ain't nobody watching. And so I never got away from that trait, and that's what the book is. When people have written me off, people at the naysayers had said this, I seen, the butt of the joke from child support to being broke, all that. I just built $1 million motherfucking house. You know what I'm saying? And I'm 54 years old, so I'm far from that. And the accolades, these are 40 and over basketball league trophies. I don't have to post about what I was and what I did to get in the Hall of Fame. I gave up 10 years ago, dude. When I started seeing people go that I had taught the game to, I was, man, I'm cool. I better find me a place where I can enjoy life. And if it happens, it happens. And so you don't see the Hall of Fame talked about in the book probably at all. I had one mission, and that was to be better than Jerry Rice. And I felt I was, and still feel like I'm better than Jerry Rice. So,
Yeah, love that confidence for sure.
and that's crazy. I can't hear you guys.
I know.
You know, talk about CTE in the book. Talk about dementia. Talk about all the ailments come from the game itself. You know, everybody went fighting for this concussion money when the concussion lawsuit came out. You know, that was like a get drafted again day. You know what I'm saying? So everybody heard about that. Even that was racial on. A lot of them players that's men of color, they still haven't received their paycheck, still haven't received the money. So those things are talked about. Collective bargaining agreements talked about up in there about the relationship between us and the new players, because the new players got the voice. You know, and you still want to be connected to those guys. And so I made sure I kept the book juicy enough for a young fella in the locker room of the NFL today to pick it up also on downtime and read it as well. It's an awesome book, man. Awesome book.
He can't see the
I
question.
can't even hear y'all. Nope, I had my Dre. Somebody got my Dre's. I got my Dre's. I had two pair of Dre's, man.
Wow.
They gone. I had my Atlanta Falcon. I got some Atlanta Falcons with my little Falcon man on there. Somebody stole them. So then I had a little hideaway pair. Somebody stole them. That happened when you're a high school coach. You know what I'm saying? If I was coaching the pros, I wouldn't have to worry about it, right? They getting the check. Kevin, if you have any favorite moments, time with the Falcons. Yeah, man. Yeah, I had an awesome time with the Falcons. I love playing for the Falcons. I never wanted to leave, really. You know, it's hard, man, when you put your life on the line. You put your heart into it. And especially for an organization like the Falcons who haven't won shit. And so here I come, and I'm playing with Deion Sanders, and we trying to turn this thing around.
Right.
And in 91, within a year, we're in the playoffs. So I would keep Deion Sanders. I would keep Andre Rison. I would keep Brian Jordan. I would keep Scott Case. I would keep Joe Fishback. Shit, we might have a chance to win. And I would stop bringing in these old, triple old free agents. Rest in heaven. Matthews, rest in heaven. Jumpy Gathers, rest in heaven. Pierce Hope, rest in heaven. Whatever. You know what I'm saying, man? Stop bringing these old dudes in here, man. We was trying to be the Atlanta 49ers at one time, right? And so all the times were awesome. The ups and downs, man. You know, when you go into an organization, not only that, I'm from up north. I was going down south too. You know, in the late 80s, early 90s, tension was still there. Men of color down in Georgia, you only could go certain places. It was when I pulled up in the Falcon parking lot, there was only one Mercedes-Benz in the parking lot. You know, and through years that stuff changed. You know, through years that changed. But there was a lot of things you weren't allowed to do as a black athlete down in Georgia. That's in the book as well. You know, we stayed right up against Forsyth County, and everybody know the history of Forsyth County. I didn't know it, and I went driving my car through there. I'm from up north. My wife is a different skin tone than myself. My grandmother was a different skin tone than myself. I didn't know it. I had coaches, different skin tones who I love, friends who I love, different skin tones. So I didn't know it. I rode through Forsyth County, and all I heard was, "Better get out of here. You're in the wrong place." And from then on, and that was like my first year in Atlanta, out in Swanee. And from then on, I just viewed it different. But I also used it as a catapult from it, you know, like to change things, to change the narrative, like blacks and whites couldn't get along. And it's funny. You walk in the game and it's white people cheering for you, you know. But yet you just heard the white people at the stoplight tell you to get out of here and go back where you were from. and I was 23 years old. So
Just wait.
we've come a long way, but we still got a long way to go, and you see that. We still got a long way to go.
Yeah.
Hey, ask him the question again. I don't think he saw it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll plop it in there again.
Jane had an accident.
What?
She had an accident in her cage.
Oh man, you see what I'm saying? We got pets, man. We got
Oh,
dogs.
man, we got all
I guess it
kinds
comes
of
with the territory new house. Man.
Oh, yep,
God.
yep.
Look at this dog, man. Look at this dog. Bring the dog. See that dog? I don't like that dog. I don't like that dog. I don't like see that dog. I don't like that dog.
Man, the dog's going to get it.
Introduced to everyone now.
Let's dream about it. My dog is outside with a head about that big. His name is Mo. You feel me? Mo Money. And you already know what he is. A pit like his name. Bull. A pit bull.
That's awesome.
You ask him again?
Yeah.
I'm waiting on another question to come in the corner. If it don't come in the corner, we got to do this again, guys. We got.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, we will.
What we're making the Hall of Fame mean to you? Right, that right there. That right there. Oh man, you know what? Like I said, I went through different stages. I was mad. I was disgruntled. I felt like T.O. You know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I really just gave up. Like, you know, I'm the people's champ.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go down as the people's champ. Cut the tape on, watch the film, and tell me. Tell me who could beat me catching. Tell me who could beat me running routes. Tell me who could beat me doing this. Tell me who can beat me that. And just line them up. I played with like 25 different quarterbacks. So that's why you don't never see me bash quarterbacks. You never see me talk bad. Boom, boom, boom. I played with 20 just in Atlanta. So you know, I didn't have like the luxuries of playing with Montana, Young, Cunningham, Culpepper.
Yeah.
Shall I go on?
No.
The first time I did was Favre, right?
Yeah. You got a ring.
You see what happened?
Hey, you got a ring.
You
You got a ring. You got a ring.
We put rings on. We put rings on,
The
man.
90s were rough in Atlanta, folks.
You know, it didn't take long. It didn't take long. So, Super Bowl predictions? Oh man, you already know it. That's so easy. How can you go wrong with saying Tom Brady, Mahomes, right?
Oh, a
rematch.
And I'm the little
Rematch.
dude over in the corner. I'm the little dude over in the corner, right? With my champagne bottle, all black bottle with the red top. It say Matt Ryan on it. You know?
Oh.
Dog say Matt Ryan on it, dog. It say Matt Ryan on it.
We
dog.
need it. We
It say
need
Matt
it.
Ryan on it, dog.
We
You know
need
what I'm
it.
saying?
We need
But a
it.
lot of come with it. We got to play good special teams. You know, we got to find this running game, man. We got to stay healthy in the latter parts of the season. And, you know, it's funny. You know, a kickoff return to the 35 or 40, it'll help you too. You know, they help you in field position.
That's
you
what
know,
Cordero's good for.
especially in winning games. You know, if a
Yeah.
quarterback only got to drive 45 yards, 60 yards, and he getting paid $20 million a year, he ought to be able to do that, right? He
Yeah.
ought to be able to do that, you know.
Yeah.
But there's so many components that come into it, and by me winning so many games in the league and winning it all and playing in 2 championship games as well outside of the year I won it all, it's a lot, man, comes in play. You know, you got to stay healthy. You got to trust each other. You got to know each other too. You got to hang a little bit off the field. Rather, you know, one week somebody cooked tacos. Next week somebody got the spades card game going. Next week, you know, we're playing dominoes next week, and you switch it up every week so no one gets left out. Because the media tell you that he's the one and he's the 2 and he's the 3. Well, okay, where the rest of the fellas at? That's running the clear route, that's coming underneath, opening you up. Where's the other guys at? You know, and so if we can find that quiet niche behind closed doors to talk to one another like that, we'll win in the months of December and early January, and then we'll see where we are come playoff time. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's gonna make it that don't supposed to make it, and somebody's gonna not make it that's supposed to make it. And so
Happens
we
all the
want to
time.
be on that tilt of like, you know what? Let's not let it be determined by someone else. And, that's staying healthy and trusting each other, and then ultimately, you got to ride with your quarterback, man. Offensively and defensively, you got to keep him not too high, not too low. Let him know that you care about him. You know, don't be on the bench when the other guys are up on the field. You got to get your ass up there and watch. You think they don't watch and look over there to see who's really paying attention while they're on the field? We do. They do. You know, get your ass up off the bench and get over there and participate in some cheerleading, you know, and helping build confidence in your guys. And you'd be surprised how that you'll mess around and beat somebody you weren't supposed to beat, man.
I don't think you see the questions.
Yeah, let me pop one in here. Hold on.
I don't think you see the questions.
Going once, going twice.
Hold on.
Thoughts on Kyle Pitts? I like Kyle when Kyle was at Florida, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He was at Florida. 84?
Yeah. Yep.
He was a beast. He was a beast in college, you know, and like most people knew, you know, his thing was don't get caught in between the naysayers of that he's a tweener. Yeah. He's in between a wide out, in between a tight end. No, you just work on your craft. You keep getting stronger. You keep getting faster, get smarter at the game, and that's a added plus when people say they can line you up inside, they can line you up outside. We can take advantage of mismatches. I'll put him in the backfield sometimes and just let him run swings. Yeah, just let it get it in his hands and let them guys on the edge try to tackle him.
Trying to get
that's just me. That's just me, man. Yeah, that's just me. Can you picture Kyle Pitts coming out the backfield with a swing? Yeah. Oh my, who's gonna tackle? I don't think that corner want to tackle him. I don't think that corner wants to tackle him. But I was glad we drafted him, especially after grabbing Ridley. You know, because them pieces got to come in now to make up what Julio did. Julio did so much. But I knew Julio was gone when I seen him start coming out on third downs. Yeah. I knew he was gone. I said he gone. I started watching. I don't miss a Falcon game. I haven't missed a Falcon game. If I miss a Falcon game, I go back and watch it. And I'm Julio's. I was Julio's number one fan. When I started seeing him, I made one Falcon game in the last 25 years. And the game I came to was a couple years ago. We played Cincinnati. And him and AJ Green and went at it. It was third down. We had the ball. And Julio checked out. I told my wife then. And we were in the red zone.
That was the game?
I said, you know what? I said, he's gone.
Wow.
I said, he checked out. He checked out.
The one we scored 40 in and lost.
She said, what do you mean? I said, I don't give a damn if I'm making $50 million a year. If I'm in the red zone, that's why I got so many touchdowns. If I'm in the red zone, man, I'm not coming out the game. I'm not coming out the game anyway on third down. I'm not coming out the game on third down. You know, but these days are changed. These times have changed. These players have changed. Yeah. Different personnel groupings. They don't even know it's third down, and you're sending it in, and your star player or your stud is on the bench because you sent in a personnel grouping. And we're sitting at home and we're like, well, why is it? Why is it? Why? It ain't up to you. It's up to you. It ain't up to you. We just fans. So at times it's hard being a fan, but I still love the game. You know, I love what the wide receiver state is. To answer your question, I don't agree with your money guys coming out on third down though. Yeah. And I never will. I never will. My body's banged up, dude. Yeah. Third down. My body's banged.
That's third down for you.
This Hall of Fame banged up for third down.
Exactly.
You feel me out. You don't come out with third down, though.
I mean,
if I was trying to come out on third down, man, you know what my position coaches would have told me. But if you try to come out on, but I'm not making $20 million, you know, $25 million, you're making that much. I guess you do what you want to do. Yeah. But when you was making what we was making, and the competition is steep too. Yeah. You're just not the only good guy on the team. We got multiple good guys. Right. Yeah. Got multiple good guys. So I would like to see our game progress to that, to being with multiple good guys. You know, and there's several teams that have that. But we're working in the right direction because I love Ridley now. I love the guys we got at the Falcons. I love those guys.
Yeah, go ahead. Ask it now, Eric.
All right, I don't think he's going to see it.
Well, post it again because I think he's seen it when it pops up.
All right.
Tell them Falcon fans get out there and go vote. Could you have won a ring with Matt Ryan? Oh, hell yeah. We don't want to What? With Matty Ice? Man, come on, man. Y'all playing. Y'all don't stop playing. If y'all don't stop, man, see, y'all gonna make me say something about the wideouts that he played with.
Oh,
He gonna make me say something, dog. It wasn't all Matty Ice's fault. It wasn't all Matty Ice's fault. I'm just gonna say that. I'm just gonna say that.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah.
Right?
Should we ask him about 28-3?
No, let's listen. I mean, you guys can do that. I'm not touching that subject, but I'm open. I'm open to whatever
I'm
you guys
looking down in the corner for it.
Yeah,
Hold
yeah,
on,
he's
hold on,
ready.
hold
If
on.
you guys got more. Eric's about to drop.
We trying to do this in Atlanta.
Can you see it?
It's 100 years in Titletown.
Yeah,
We trying to do that in
The
Atlanta.
Packers
We
documentary.
need, yeah, we need it.
Yeah,
We need it.
and we
need it.
can. And we can. Because if you think about it, in modern day era, they only got a couple.
yeah.
Yeah,
In modern day era, they only got a couple. You can, you can change the table. And honestly, a lot of similar talent through the years.
yeah.
A lot of similar talent. Brett Favre wasn't too much better than Matt Ice. And I can recall
I like
several years ago, Matty Ice was up for MVP with Aaron Rodgers now.
He
Yeah.
won MVP over Aaron
Won
Rodgers
MVP.
that year.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
He
saying?
won it in 2016.
And quote unquote, we had the best receiver in football,
yeah,
Julio Jones.
yeah. He didn't see it.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll post it
He
now.
didn't see it. He didn't see it.
Eric wants to know if you have any thoughts on 28-3 or 28-2-3
Yeah, yeah.
or 28-3. Talking about last week?
No.
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl 51.
Yeah.
That's this year. That's this year. That's this year, dog. Ooh, they got to bring me in for that pep talk. They got to bring me in for that pep talk, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So I carry the flag around. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we got to call Ryan Cameron. Where Ryan Cameron? Where my phone at? Let me call Ryan. I would go absolutely crazy. I got a better question for you. What if we do? I hate saying I only say I when the route starts.
Yeah.
What if we make the Hall of Fame? What do I go in as?
A Falcon.
Has to be a Falcon,
A
right?
Falcon. No question. No question.
He like hands down.
No
He
question.
Like, hands down, man, no question. Falcon. You right. Hey, I got about 21 Falcon jerseys up in my closet, right?
Damn sure not a Brown.
Damn sure not a Brown. Oh, hell no.
Or a Chief. Hell no.
Or a Chief.
No. Hey, it's a
You already
Falcon.
know the Chief.
It's a
What about
Falcon.
these boys? What about these boys right here? Now you know I'm gonna keep my Falcon on me now.
No.
I'm gonna keep my Falcon. I'm gonna keep
No.
my Falcon. What about these?
No, Andre.
What about this boy right there?
No, Andre.
What about the boys right there, man?
No, Andre. You're a Falcon.
You know what I'm saying?
You're a
I
Falcon.
can't even pull nothing up.
No.
The blank ain't sitting in nothing, man. Oh
No.
man, I can't pull
No.
no Falcon stuff up. Look, I turn my iPod mic in. Just for one day to sit there, start the blank, and watch a game. I just want to watch one game without the blank.
We got to make that happen. We got to pull some strings.
We gotta do something, man.
If I don't go in,
Evan, you heard him.
We gotta
as a
do
Falcon,
something.
man, I had a whole city upset. You know what I mean? I had a whole city upset, man. I couldn't even walk in Georgia no more. I couldn't, man. I couldn't walk in the city of Atlanta no more. You know, but my wife and I, we talk about it all the time. She say, baby, you know you're going in. What you gonna go at? So everybody know I'm gonna go in as a dirty bird.
Yeah.
I wasn't even a dirty bird either.
You got to.
I wasn't the dirty birds came after us. I'm a
After,
true Atlanta Falcon.
Yeah.
I'm a true Atlanta
Too
Falcon.
legit
That's what I
to
am.
quit.
That's what I am, dog. I don't know why I ain't in the Ring of Honor. I don't know why I can't, ride on the float like Rodney White or something. You know what I'm saying? Like Rodney White, like put me on the float or something, drive me around the field, make me feel good.
Yeah.
Let me wave at the fans, you know what I'm saying? Do something, you know what I'm saying? Out there, Roddy White. Now, I love me some Falcons. Now. I know everybody that played for him now. I know everybody that played for him now. I talked to Billy White Shoes Johnson too, probably about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I told him the same thing. I said, man, y'all run around here, this organization, like y'all really carry the brand. Andre Rison and Deion Sanders, Michael Vick, dude, did so much for the Falcons brand before Mike was even thought about. The brand carrying that Deion did. And Deion left, I still was carrying the brand. I just find it hard to believe, like, just the love that I didn't get from the Falcons. But I'm cool with it. Because trust me, I went through CTE and depression and dementia. I got all that shit going on, right? Just like I ain't no different than anybody played the game. I played a long time. I had the ball a lot. But it's one thing that hurt me is that I'm not a part of the Falcons organization. That hurt me. And then my wife went through cancer and we got invited to the game and we went to the game and she had lost all her hair and stuff. And so I was more into her anyway and still is. But when we went to the game, it was funny. I sat in the stands like I really didn't, like I hadn't did nothing there. You know what I'm saying? It was a new arena, new vibe. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel right at all. And so that was the first time I have been back. And that's the only time I've ever been back.
Wow.
And that was the only time I have been invited back. They put me in the group of let's invite the alumni back. No, don't put me in that one. But damn, if you can't call Andre Rison yourself, come on, man. But that is that big conglomerate. You come in one door and you do your work. Car wash. They push you out. It's over.
Yeah.
It's over. It's over. I'd be damned if I couldn't help somebody at some point in time up in the Falcons organization. You know what I'm saying? Or the team itself. Shit, I know the game, man. I'm a coach. And so for me not to be coaching the Falcon receivers is crazy. And I've been asking to do that for years, dude. For years. So I don't stop loving that bird on the side, though. I don't know the other people. I don't know them. And it ain't their fault. But I don't put myself in position to get stepped on or elbowed out of line. I just don't get in line. I'm cool. So, I'm very cool. But at one point in time, I was like, this is so disrespectful. Like,
Daddy.
It's just so disrespectful. Like, because I carry the brand. And I still carry the brand. I mean, you tell me who the most famous Falcons are. Shit, I'm in the top five, man. I'm in the top three.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? On some real shit.
It's
Like,
definitely
let's stop playing.
Yeah.
Let's stop playing. Like, let's stop playing. But I ain't knocking on nobody's door to be like, hey man, look at me, I'm Falcons. Nah. I wanted the organization to reach out. If I'm gonna grow as a person and I'm gonna mature as a person and I'm gonna grow the wealth. That's what I'm gonna do, and that's exactly what I did. I grew the wealth. You should do the same. If I granted you my life, I put my life on the line for you guys. And I sweated, I cried. I cried when we lost. I don't know how many Falcon players cry when they lose. I cried when I lost. I cried every game we lost. And I wore it on my sleeve. But to each his own.
Yeah.
But I still just find it very hard to believe, like, my name ain't up in the Raptors. Nowhere near it. And it took guys way longer than me to break my records as the Falcons all-time leading receiver.
Yeah.
And then they just started talking about them like they was just like the cream of the crop. Them dudes wouldn't even make the team. But that's not my job to go bash the next ones that's in line. My job is to open the doors. I signed the largest contract in history, not Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice played during the strike year and scored 22 touchdowns. You tell me if that shit counts. I scored double figures 5 straight years with him. but I never would play during a strike year. I'm on the player side and will always be on the player side. So that's where the difference came between me and Rice, that nobody really knew why Andre got this thing against Rice. Well, first of all, I feel like I'm the best to play this game. And you keep writing that he's the best because his stats are already up there. Ain't nobody going to catch them. He ain't going to beat me running. He ain't going to beat me jumping. Matter of fact, you erased my Pro Bowl MVP because I didn't even want it. I really wanted to line up and check it. And then let the world watch. See, that's where we came from, though. And what's different than that than Deion Sanders coming in the huddle saying, I want to play wide out. And Deion came and what? Played wide out. And we threw him the ball. So what's the difference between me? I was an All-American corner. So my mindset really was totally different. But I'm glad I had it because it trickled over to teammates that might not have had the confidence that they needed to play on our level. And you got to help your teammates out. So I would never change nothing. I would never change my attitude. I would never change my spunk, my bite. None of it, dude. You know, I didn't ask to be traded my rookie year. You know, I made all rookie. And then the next year I got traded for the first pick. I didn't ask for that. But people went, oh, he played for 17. Man, shut up. I didn't ask to be traded. Then I got traded to Atlanta Falcons. So I go to Atlanta Falcons. I give you 56 touchdowns. 56 in the next 4 or 5. Then you bring in, matter of fact, before I even leave, the dude you traded for, you brought him in, the quarterback.
Jeff George. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Now you tell me who got bad management. I don't know who got bad management, whatever. But now I'm catching balls from who I just got traded for, right?
Yeah.
Make the Pro Bowls, we do all that, we make playoffs, we do all that good stuff. And I'm a free agent, and I don't even get an offer. So now I'm on my third team, but I'm a free agent, though. Got traded, now I'm a free agent. But yet, in between, I made All-Pro damn near every year. I don't know what the hell y'all want me to do. I made the wrong choice. I chose Cleveland. Belichick was in Cleveland, too, so I guess the greatest coach of all time, he made the wrong choice, too.
Yeah.
They fired Belichick. They cut me, and we never played a down in Baltimore. So that's how I ended up in Jacksonville. So I go to Jacksonville, and then I end up playing for arguably one of the most racist coaches ever, Tom Coughlin. We didn't see eye to eye, and a lot of players didn't. But it didn't get revealed until he went to the Giants, and it took Strahan and Armstead and all of Tiki Barber. Oh, when they said it was cool. But when I told y'all, something wrong with my man. Oh, that's Andre Rison saying that. Dude, I'm way smarter than y'all. I graduated. My GPA is high. You can't tell. It's real high. And I'm willing to go learn. So that makes me even more dangerous. All right? Pick up the phone. Boop. It's Green Bay, San Fran, or Dallas. I got the vibes from Dallas. Deion wanted. Deion, come on. That's my brother. Still to this day. Me and Deion love, man, mad love for each other. Talk to each other damn near every day. Just talked to his offensive coordinator, Jason Phillips, who was there with us too. That's his offensive coordinator. We plan on coaching all together sometime, at some day, at some point. Yeah, come on. Aikman know what it is. I'm going to get open quicker than Michael Irvin. Last time I checked, I got more touchdowns than him. But that's another story. So I didn't feel it from Mike. I didn't feel it from 88. Rising coming, woo, Irvin, Emmett. We probably would have never lost another game if I would have went. Yeah. So,
yeah.
If I go to Frisco, that means I'm giving up.
With Jerry.
I'm giving up. That means I done gave up.
With
Hell
Jerry.
No. You know damn well I ain't going to Frisco to play with no Jerry Rice. Hell no. All right? Got one team left, and it's Green Bay. Went to Green Bay, seen the situation, talked to him. We didn't lose a game. The rest is history, dude. I scored in every playoff game. Then scored in the Super Bowl. We won the Super Bowl. And so I was a free agent. So now here come my 16, which was Kansas City. Green Bay effed up and didn't sign me back, and they know that. They know that to this day. But long story short, I signed with Kansas City. Now this is my 16th. What I do? What we do? We make the Pro Bowl. They hadn't had a Pro Bowl receiver since Otis Taylor. That's why I wore the 89. And that's why I created Spider-Man. And Stan Lee him and I became great friends. And that's when all the trilogies and movies started with the superheroes. And I was asked to be in several of them, the Spider-Mans, but when they were shooting, we were always in camp. I just was intrigued and thrilled and in awe of Stan Lee, the great Stan Lee, rest in heaven, that he took the time out to even see it. And that was awesome. So we go there, have some great years in Kansas City, almost make the Super Bowl again. And we changed coaches. So now I'm up in my 30s. So now it's like, okay, is he over the hill or he lost a step? With them, I was just in Pro Bowl a year before. So I go to the Raiders and play awesome. Some of my best football I have been playing was in my 12th year with Tim Brown. And I put up almost double figures that year. If you look at it, I almost had double figures that year. And almost 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
Shit, damn near 800, right? So all in all, man, I can't complain about my career. It was awesome. It was super awesome. And so in the book, you just got it how it was broken down, though, how I got to the 17s, because I'm tired of people talking about, oh, he played with 17. But shit, look at how I got there.
Yeah.
Look at how I got there. But then once I got there, look at what we did. And look at what we did. And the cool part about it, this can be taught. I've been coaching now for 14 years. And I teach all the stuff that was taught to me. You know, in the game from the great coaches I had, from Fred Biletnikoff to Al Saunders to Jimmy Mann, Jimmy Robinson. You know, those are great coaches, man, position coaches. And so I give thanks to all my great coaches in the book. Also the media. You know, you supposed to have this relationship with the media, and it can go either way. That depends on you getting in the Hall of Fame or not. Well, when you look at Art Monk and you look at his career, if you're a football fan and you know Art Monk, if you look at Mark Clayton and Mark Duper, I don't know why they wasn't in the league. I don't know what the hell they arguing about Drew Pearson to get in the Hall of Fame before Clayton or Duper, who played with Marino. Only thing I can say is Super Bowl. But when you looked at the stats, it wasn't even close, you know. Lynn Swan, another one. His stats are up under the table, you know. But 3 Super Bowls and some magnificent catches, and things will change. Things will change for you when you put the rings on. So I knew I was better than Rice. I knew that I wasn't going to catch him in stats. I knew I needed rings to be in the conversation, and that's what we sought after. That's what we sought after, rings.
Yep.
Yeah,
Want to let him
absolutely.
go, Kevin?
What's that?
Want to let him go?
Yeah, we can. I'll just send him a message here. Sending up.
Nah, man, nothing but love, guys. My hands tore up. I've been outside doing landscaping, man. Boom, working. Hey, love you guys. Appreciate it. Hey, good luck next week after the bye weekend. Stay safe with this COVID stuff.
Yes,
Blessings
sir.
to you and your babies and your kids.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so
Yes,
much,
sir.
Andre. All right, guys, that was Falcons legend Andre Rison, 100% real, 100% unfiltered. I didn't expect we would get like that much of a peek into the psyche of Andre Rison, and he gave us like a total, like behind the scenes breakdown of basically his entire career. I mean, that's not public knowledge right there. So,
You know what, man? You can hear it in his voice.
yeah,
You can hear the sincerity. You can hear the hurt. You can hear the disappointment in his voice. of just wanting to be part of Falcons lore.
He deserves it,
He does. He deserves it. When you speak of all-time great Falcons, he's one of the first names that you throw out there. I mean, of course you go with Dion, of course you go with Vic. You may toss out Julio before him, but he will still come on that list at some point. No, hopefully one day, I believe Arthur Blank is that type of owner that will be willing to, open that door to a lot of former Falcons in the past. And I'm not saying it was him. I'm not saying it was Blank that
No.
that did not allow that. But I'm just saying, like, Arthur Blank is one of the more wholesome owners in the league. He's very welcoming. He's very, personal, as we all know. But yeah, that was fun, man. We didn't really get to ask a whole lot of questions.
Yeah.
But I don't think we really needed to,
no,
honestly.
No, he didn't. He just took it and ran. We threw a couple of softballs up there for him, but
yeah.
And Andre, just really appreciate him working through the technical stuff because he could not hear us at all, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh yeah, he could have
after the beginning of the show.
He could have easily said, "I'm out of here." Like, I'm not coming.
But no, he stayed for an hour.
No, we wouldn't. Yeah. We wouldn't have blamed him. Yeah.
But he has expressed interest in coming back on, hopefully without the technical difficulties. And we just really appreciate him giving us an hour of his time. I mean,
that was
that's
dope, man.
That's dope. It's really cool. Really appreciate him taking the time and really giving us that, really inside look into his entire career, his time with the Falcons. I mean, how he really feels about the whole situation.
And everyone who's watching, be on the lookout. His book is called Wide Open, right? Did he give us a date as far as when it was going to?
I think it's either out now or coming really soon. I know the first book signings are going to be in November, I think. So if I don't know if that'll be in Atlanta or where that'll be, but there is a website for that as well. So,
but yeah, it's called Wide Open. So, what?
Oh no, don't worry about it. But Evan might have something to add about that. Evan, did you have something in there? Evan,
I can't hear you.
We can't hear Evan.
Oh no, it's all falling apart here. We're all.
It is. It's the Saints. It's the Saints.
It must have been.
They're picking us up one after the other.
Yeah, first it was Andre, now it's Evan. We're just dropping like flies here.
Yeah, who knows who it could be next?
We got a little time to go into the game, or we're gonna close.
Oh yeah, no, we got time.
Oh,
Evan,
okay.
What's up, brother?
Evan, you good?
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, dude, it's weird. Like, Eric sounds like a chipmunk in my ear. I don't know what's going on.
That's weird.
But
chipmunk. Oh,
if you can hear me, I'm gonna plug and then bounce real quick because
go ahead.
Anything.
Go ahead and plug. Go ahead.
Andre Rison, wideopen.com, and you can pre-order his book Wide Open. And also, there's a link at the top because he's up for. I believe he mentioned it, but he's up for the Pro Football Hall of Fame 2022 class.
Yes.
And you can vote from there too. So definitely hit that up. And yeah, he'll be back on the Falcoholic, either on here through publication or something. So just thankful for him coming on and spend some time and
bringing the kids too.
Had some audio difficulties, but it's been fun.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely appreciate that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, we do have time to get into this Week 5 game a little bit. Some Jets action. Didn't really expect Andre to give us so much time. So it's like, it's like, this is how I always feel after the interview. It's like, oh, now we have to go back to talking about, Falcons football. Right. At least it's a win this time. So it's a little bit better. Yeah. But,
I just did want to add on. Evan mentioned some of the great stuff that Andre Rison did as a Falcon. He still, to this day, owns the team's all-time single-season record for most receiving touchdowns in a season.
Yeah,
like
15,
that
right?
record.
15.
15, yeah. And he's also third with 12 as well. Alfred Jenkins is second.
Wow.
When he left the Falcons, he was second all-time in single-season receiving yards, behind only the great Alfred Jenkins, who did it in 1981. He was second and third in 1993. He was second and third in the single season receiving yards mark for the Falcons, behind only Alfred Jenkins. Then Terrence Mathis lapped him for second place in 1994, and then of course Julio Jones, Roddy White came by afterwards. But yeah, Andre Rison in his time, like he was legit. He was the weapon for the Falcons. He was Julio Jones back in the 90s. For those who don't remember it, and I wasn't alive for it either. But yeah, he was the Julio Jones before Julio Jones on this team.
Yeah.
But except he never went out on third downs, as he mentioned, and he scored touchdowns.
The slander, man, the slander on that one. I mean, we were all thinking it, so just saying.
I mean, he's not wrong.
It's funny. It's funny he mentioned that he's a fan of Calvin Ridley, because I think their playing styles were kind of sort of identical a little bit. At least from they both were not the, they were not the prototype NFL receivers that you see, the guys that are 6'4", 220 or whatever, but they were crafty route runners that found a way to get open, in different ways besides just pure speed. So yeah, man, if you're even a modern fan nowadays, man, you should know the name Andre Rison when you hear it. And he's definitely a Falcon if he gets in. There's no question. He played 1 year in Cleveland, 3 in Kansas City. He's definitely a Falcon, man. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, certainly. I mean, without a doubt. He said so as well. Even with the team hasn't necessarily reciprocated the love, but he still is very much a Falcon at heart. We appreciate that as fans, and I know he's in the Falcoholic Ring of Honor for sure. He's in our Ring of Honor. I would have him on without question. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, guys, before we get into this Jets game a little bit, I do want to remind you to please like and subscribe if you haven't done that already. Thank you guys for tuning in for that interview. You can check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/Falcoholic Live if you're interested in supporting the show on a monthly basis, getting access to some exclusive content as well. And also check out our community Discord server, the link to which is right there, also in the show description as well. If anyone has any burning questions, we try to get to as many in the chat as we can, but you can also donate with a question, and if you want the link to that, it's in the show description, or you could type !tip for that information to be posted in the chat. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in with us so far as we now transition into some Jets Falcons talk.
And I just want to say 15 touchdowns in a season, man.
Yeah.
Imagine that's almost like one every game.
Yeah,
like,
that's nuts.
It took Julio Jones like 5 years to get to 15 combined.
The Julio slander. The Julio slander.
All right, yeah, let's move on to the Jets.
Let's move on to the Jets. Yeah, let's move on to the Jets. No, I mean, honestly, we talked about it a little bit in the post-game show, but just the most complete game the Falcons have played thus far. Obviously, the kickoff coverage still, sketchy. But the offense was humming. The defense, played, I think, as well as could be expected. Missing, 3 players in the secondary at this point. I was really impressed. Obviously the fumbles made it a little bit sweatier at the end than it should have been, but good game overall. I think it was an improvement from the previous week. I think the team is showing a weekly improvement, which is very, very important for the rest of the season. And TC, you're right. The Jets are not good, but the defense is. You've seen how bad their offense is, and their defense going into this game was still 12th in scoring, despite the fact that they turned the ball over more than any other team on offense. They were, I believe, 3rd in terms of third down defense, and 3rd in red zone defense as well. This is not a bad defense. This is a defense that is, probably looks worse in terms of statistics than they actually are because of how poor the offense is for the Jets. But for the Falcons to allow 0 sacks, I believe the Jets were above average in terms of pass rush, to have a great third down conversion rate, to really move the ball without too much trouble aside from those fumbles against that defense. I think that is deserving of praise. I mean, honestly, like Tom, you're not wrong about their offense. Their offense is complete disaster, but the defense is legit, and I do want to give the Falcons props for that. But Eric, I'll go to you first. I mean, what were some of your big takeaways from that game?
It's funny how it really did look as if the offense were able to find a rhythm without Calvin Ridley and Russell Gage. Something that I didn't expect. But it was, the fifth game of the year, and it seemed like in every game leading up to it, there was one layer of the offense that was actually going right. In the first game of the year, they had in terms of yardage, it wasn't great, but the run game was able to find a few lanes here and there. In the second game, Matt Ryan and the passing game, they were able to make some plays in the air. And it led up to this London game, and it seemed like the London game, they were able to put everything together. They had 100 rushing yards that day. I know it didn't look like it, but I think it was 107 to be exact. Matt Ryan was dealing. Matt Ryan was comfortable, wasn't sacked. He was hit a couple times, but again, he was able to get the ball out to his receivers. Play action was flawless against the Jets, like absolutely flawless. Matt looked very comfortable in that particular phase. So that's one thing that stood out. Like, wow, I didn't imagine the one game where they were lacking weapons and they were still trying to find a run game, and lo and behold, they hit the field, and this offense it looked like it was starting to round the corner a little bit, man. It really was. I was impressed.
Absolutely. Adnan, your thoughts on the Falcons and this victory over the Jets?
I feel like the offense, especially for the Falcons, played its best game of the season right after its previous best game of the season, which was the week before against Washington, right after its best quarter of the season up to that point, which was the fourth quarter against the New York Giants. Pretty much what I'm saying is the offense has gotten literally better and better with each passing week. And, it started off it's good to start off at rock bottom.
Yeah.
It's good when rock bottom. If you have to be at rock bottom, I'd rather it be right away week one, and then you build up, and then you turn into something. You turn it into something positive, as opposed to you hit rock bottom in the middle of the season, or even worse, at the very end of the season.
Yeah.
And this offense could not have been any worse in week one. It was a lot better in week two in comparison, but still had a lot of those turnovers. First three quarters against the Giants were pretty ugly, but I'm telling you, something happened. A flip got switched in the fourth quarter of that Giants game, and it's just looked better and better. And I know people are going to say, "Oh, it's just the Jets," but the Jets have been a pretty good defense this season. They were top 10 in sacks coming into this game. Yes, they were missing their Pro Bowl safety Marcus May.
He's been out basically the whole season, though.
Yeah, he's been out the entire season pretty much. But yeah, this Jets defense it's not terrible. Like the offense of the Jets is what holds them back. Zach Wilson has not been good at all this season. And again, he had some very bad mistakes in this one. But I'm really excited. I feel like Arthur Smith is incorporating more and more of the playbook. We haven't seen all of it yet. We have the bye week now to incorporate some more stuff. And I feel like this is the one season where having a bye week early on is beneficial, because normally you want that later bye week.
Yeah.
But now the fact that this is the earliest possible bye week in the NFL, by the way. Week 6, it used to be week 4, but now with the extra game, week 6 is the earliest possible bye. Now we have the opportunity for the offensive line, which still hasn't gotten too many reps together, still didn't play the preseason together. They've been thrown together in the regular season. They have a whole week of working with each other in practice before coming out next game. Arthur Smith has another week of incorporating his playbook, of putting in some more twists of his, doing some more of what he wants to do, because you couldn't have done all of that right away. Dean Pease has another week of teaching these defensive players the concepts that they need to know. I know he mentioned Richie Grant hasn't really been fully up to date on the playbook. That's why he wasn't getting snaps. He played half the snaps last game, but that's because Eric Harris was out. Necessity dictated that that Grant had to play. Richie Grant had to play, and Grant had a solid game. But man, I feel like this offense it's on the rise, it's on the ascension, and I think it'll be really, really good, and we'll be really, really happy with the results come week 7 against the Dolphins and moving forward. And not a moment too soon, because right after that Dolphins game, you have the Panthers. You go to New Orleans, two huge divisional clashes. And, hopefully you'll have Calvin Ridley back. Hopefully you'll have Russell Gage back. Kyle Pitts had his breakout performance, which was needed without so many weapons. I feel like Arthur Smith has something cooking right now, and I'm excited to see what the results of the bye week are coming out of it starting week 7.
Yeah. I mean, it's been really exciting to see the team's evolution. You guys both mentioned that really bad week 1 where the Falcons were 3 of 14 on third down. They converted 3 in the whole game, so that's 21%. And they went 0 for 2 in the red zone. Obviously, that's 0%. They are now, and including that game, they are now they're converting 45.8% of their third downs, which is 7th best in the league, and 68.8% red zone efficiency, which is tied for 8th. By the way, that's about 7% better than any of Dirk Cutter's seasons in Atlanta in red zone efficiency. So
7% is huge too.
Yeah.
Like it's not a menial difference.
No, and that's like including that bad game. If you take that bad game out, they're probably, they're in the top 5 in terms of red zone efficiency. And
in fairness, they only got into the red zone twice in that game.
They did, but they
were
were
both
2.
field goals, but they didn't. Yeah, they didn't cross midfield after that second one.
Exactly.
That's how bad it was.
But still 0%.
But I would say at least with Arthur Smith, like that's the one plus that he's brought from Tennessee, because that was the thing in Tennessee. That's the one thing that we noted about him once he got hired, about how efficient the Titans were in the red zone. And that's one plus that he has brought over. Of course we're seeing the great play from guys like Cordero. Like, I don't even want to imagine how this offense will look without Cordero Patterson.
Yeah.
I feel like the guy deserves his flowers a little bit. He deserves a little shine. He's been playing great. But I also want to give a tip of the cap to Matt Ryan, man. Since the fourth, and Adam brought it up, since the fourth quarter of that Giants game, he's looked like 2016 Matt Ryan. I'll be honest with you. Like, he just looks, when Matt gets into that zone and he starts dealing and everything, he throws receivers open. He feels comfortable. He doesn't feel jittery in the pocket. He's able to hit receivers in stride. I see that. And the fact that he's been looking really great for the past 2 games, 2+ games. And the fact that he had to deal with receivers drops, like, it makes you look at what he's done. He's at, over the past 3 games, he's at 868 yards and 8 touchdowns. He easily could have been over 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
And maybe a couple more touchdowns if his receivers were able to hold on to the football. But he deserves some credit as well, man. He's been playing awesome.
Yeah. I just picked him up in fantasy today. Russell Wilson went down, so I'm telling you, I trust in this offense. The offense
drafted him.
Arthur Smith does what Matt Ryan likes. Arthur Smith runs a very play action heavy scheme,
and he should.
Analytics dictates that you should run play action, like, a lot. Right. It's what we had Ben Baldwin on the show last year, and he broke it down for us.
Yep.
And a lot of motion. Arthur Smith, very, very analytical approach. And Matt Ryan, when has he had the most success in his career? 2016, when he was running that play action bootleg, when he was, moving a little bit outside of the pocket, when he was moving around. Arthur Smith has brought that. That's something that they tried to force on Steve Sarkisian. I've still never understood bringing in an OC and trying to have him run another offensive coordinator's playbook with his own wrinkles.
But I still thought he did fine, even with that.
Especially 2018. Like, his 2018 season is so underrated.
But at least with Dirk just took away that entire element. Dirk was like, hey, this is my scheme. This is what we're going to run. And like Adnan has pointed out, like, Arthur Smith is starting slowly to just implement, like, okay, he's starting to figure out, like, okay, where is everybody's strengths? What does Matt do? What does Matt do great? What does Kyle? What does he do great? What does Cordero? Where do I need to line him up at to get the full pedigree out of Cordero Patterson? You're starting to see that a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. And like the defense deserves some props too. I mean, after this game, obviously it was against the Jets, but Falcons are now 12th in total yardage allowed on defense, 14th in passing yardage, 13th in rushing yardage. Yes, they're above average in yardage now on defense.
They're 12th in total defense.
Total yards. Yeah, and now obviously the going against the Jets this week helped a lot, but I mean. Yeah, they were in the high teens last week too, before the Jets game. So
they were like 18th or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. Now they're still 28th in scoring, but
Yeah,
but if you take
I'd
away
rather
the
be 12th in scoring than
exactly. If you take away the 21 points that are the pick sixes and the kick return, they're like 23rd. But you know, like I think they're closer to that 23rd number than they are to 28. Is what I'm saying.
I just want to see some turnovers. That's all I really want to see.
Yeah. Yeah,
Jalen Hawkins got one last game.
That was a great turnover.
Great game by Jalen Hawkins. Great game overall by Jalen Hawkins.
Man, where was that turnover against Washington?
That would have been nice.
I mean, it hit their hands, but
it did. We lead the league in almost interceptions. Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to see him make, because we all know, we've all discussed that the talent really isn't there with this unit, the overall talent. But I just want to get a couple turnovers, guys. I think it can really help out a lot more than people think it would.
And I don't think that the next matchup for the defense will be super scary either. You're talking about a Dolphins team whose offense, Tua Tagovailoa has been hurt. He'll probably be back for that game.
Off IR.
Yeah, he's coming off IR this week.
Mm-hmm.
Tua last season wasn't really amazing. He wasn't really, that great. This season he started out, a little slow before the injury hit him. I think he played one game against New England, had 200 yards, passing touchdown, rushing touchdown, interception, then got hurt early on against Buffalo. Miami's a team that's also, struggling with the injuries, just like the Falcons. Will Fuller, Devontae Parker. Will Fuller is going to be out. He's on IR.
Yeah.
Devontae Parker is battling a hamstring injury. So same scenario as the Falcons this last game, where you're without your probably two top targets, and then you have a top 10 draft pick rookie who, the brunt of it will fall on him in Jalen Waddle. They also have Mike Gesicki, who's an incredibly talented receiving tight end. Very, very good player. He's going to be someone the Falcons have to watch, as well as Jalen Waddle. And Miami's run game hasn't really been that intimidating this year. I'm putting a kinder spin on it than Eric. But yeah, Miami's definitely a team, and also scheduling quirk. They're playing in London this week.
Yeah,
and they're coming back from London next week and playing the Falcons immediately.
Wait, they don't have a bye?
They don't have a bye week. They don't. They play us right after
teams.
Their London game.
One of the only ones that doesn't have a bye this year after London.
2 weeks off to get healthy. Oh.
And they got to come back from London and play the Falcons.
That's going to be a tricky one.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So
tricky for Miami, not tricky for Atlanta.
Miami. Yeah, that's going to be tricky.
Hopefully not tricky for
I thought it was the norm that once you play the London game, you have the bye week. I thought
it is.
It is, but for once, the schedule makers are in the Falcons' favor. For once, another team gets screwed, and it favors the Falcons.
Schedule makers were like, "Oh, what do we do?"
Yep. So hopefully
we gave the Jags a bye week, but we didn't give it to the Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully Arthur Smith is better coming off a bye than Dan Quinn, because Dan Quinn was awful coming off a bye.
Last time Dan Quinn came off a bye to play the Miami Dolphins, the Falcons lost, and that was right after the Dolphins strength and conditioning coach
that was the cocaine game.
Got caught snorting coke.
The cocaine game.
I think it was their strength and conditioning coach.
It was also the game that Kiko Alonso, who did he carry? He carried somebody in that game. I can't remember. Was it Gabriel?
It might have been. I don't remember.
Or Marvin Hall. Somebody. It was one play where he caught the receiver or whatever. And he kind of walked with them after the incompletion. I'm like, oh, this is.
I think the Falcons definitely blew a lead in that game. Lost in overtime.
Definitely.
Yep. That was one of those games in 2017 where the Falcons started off 3-0, other than the Packers win.
We
couple
felt
very, very shaky wins. The
Yes.
10-second runoff game against Detroit.
Yep.
The game against Chicago where they should have won, but then Brooks Reed got the fourth and
Yep.
goal sack.
Yep.
So they weren't really on great footing. I think they
felt
had
strong
just
about that game.
they just lost to Buffalo where they got hosed.
Another game
on
they
home.
should have won.
They got hosed. It was the forward pass for
That's
Matt
right.
Ryan.
That's right. Yeah.
Where all the wide receivers got hurt in that game. I think
Yep.
Nick Williams was his number one receiver in that
Hell
one.
yeah.
By
Nick
the end of it.
Williams. Yeah.
But yeah, we got hosed against Buffalo. Then against Miami, it's like, all right, everything is looking good. Coming off a bye week, we're up, I think, 17-0, whatever it was. Lost to them in overtime. That then got destroyed by the Patriots to lose 3 straight against that AFC East. And yeah, that was just a rough start to the season.
That was very rough. Yeah. Falcons need to get this win though next week, and we'll talk more about it. We'll talk more about it next week, because we have another game to talk about their matchup next. Another show to talk about it because it is the bye week. But yeah, I mean, the Falcons do need to get the win against the Dolphins because it's a difficult stretch there. 2 division games. You're probably hoping to split those. Obviously it would be great to win both of them, but you're probably realistically like, okay, we need to split these. Because if you split those, you win against Miami, you split those, you're going to be right at 500 still with a game against a Patriots team that's not that great, pretty mediocre. So you could get above 500 there, and you're still very much in the hunt in this NFC. Like the NFC wildcard race is totally open right now. So
all I wanted coming into this season was to be above 500 in November.
Yeah, and I think
that's
we'll have
all
that.
I
Yeah.
want.
I think we might get that, so that would be nice for a change.
They're right along. They're right along where I figured they would be as far as that 500, that mediocre.
Yeah, I mean they should be 3-2. They should be 3-2.
But man, it would have been nice to beat Washington.
It would have been nice. They should have.
Man, it would have been nice to beat Washington and to beat 3-2.
We got into the same situation against the Jets, and Arthur Smith did something different, and it worked. And I don't think I ever saw that with Dan Quinn. Not one time. It was like,
not with Mike Smith either.
We're just going to keep doing it, So
and then pointed that out directly after the game that he learned his lesson.
Yep.
As soon as he saw the lead evaporate, first thing he did,
dial up a deep shot to Pitts. Yep.
Right down the seam.
Yep.
That's exactly what he needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If it didn't work out, I wouldn't have had a single negative thing to say about it.
Exactly. I will never be against an offensive coordinator wanting to stay aggressive late in the game with a lead. Like nursing the lead, running the ball, milking the clock.
Even Kyle Shanahan?
Look, there's one exception, only that one time.
No. And I tell people to this day because they still ask me, and I said, look, I'm never going to be upset at Kyle Shanahan for wanting to go deep against New England with that lead.
We were roasting them all game on those plays.
I'm in the same boat. And again, we're not going to linger on this, but I would have done the same
thing.
Yeah, I don't blame him because that's what got him there. You go down doing what got you there.
Yeah,
it was consistent.
You got a chance to kick the Patriots in the teeth. That's what he wanted to do. I don't mind it. So same thing with Arthur Smith. He wanted to go deep. By all means, stay aggressive. What do you really have to lose this season?
Yeah.
By just being complacent and sitting on the ball.
Exactly. Just go for it. Just play entertaining games. That's all fans want.
It was less than 4 minutes, 3-point game. If anything, it's more baffling that they weren't aggressive against Washington given the circumstances because they were up by only 2 against Washington, and again they had no punter at that point. You had a healthy punter, you had a healthy Colquitt in this game. You had a 3-point lead instead of a 2-point lead, and Arthur Smith went out there and said, "All right, like it burned me last week. I'm not just gonna run, punt, and just give the Jets the ball back with momentum." And it worked out for the Falcons. They scored a touchdown on that drive, and that was all she wrote. The Jets did end up marching downfield. I think they kicked a field goal.
They did. Because there was the sack. Yeah,
they were down 2. Yeah, they were down 2 scores with about 2 minutes left, 2-3 minutes left, and then it was. They
basically had to burn all their clock to get the field goal.
Had to burn all the clock. Yeah, got a couple sacks on that drive too, So it paid off.
It was perfectly played. I think the defense gave up some plays. Honestly, if Terrell just turns his head and doesn't run into the receiver, on that DPI. I mean, this game is not close. Also, if they don't fumble twice in the red zone, that would be nice. But, beggars can't be choosers. Beggars can't be choosers, all right? We're just looking for W's, all right? We're looking for W's.
They could have had, guys, they could have had a 40-burger.
Yeah.
Should have had one. I mean, Hayden Hurst fumbled.
Hayden Hurst fumbled on like every catch, all right? He's going to need to clean that
points.
up. Yeah.
Hayden Hurst, this game would have been an absolute blowout. It was 17-0. And Hayden Hurst fumbles it right when the team was about to score another touchdown to go up 24-0. Yeah. Like the Jets would have been broken at that point.
And this was right after the turnover that they got.
Yeah, right after the Hawkins pick, and the Jets at that point I think had gone 3-and-out twice.
Yep.
And then through the turnover, like their defense was absolutely gassed, and it was only the first half.
Yep, exactly. So, I mean, they did a good job. I think there were some dumb mistakes, and this is a young team that's going to make some dumb mistakes. So it doesn't shock me. What I liked, and I think what we all liked, was that they did the right thing at the end of the game. They protected the lead by growing it instead of sitting on it, and that's what you have to do in this league, because you're going to go up against teams that aren't the Jets, that can score, that are good offenses, and this defense is not equipped to stop them. And you're going to have to. I mean, I tweeted it out. I think I tweeted it out in the third quarter. I was like, 20 points is not going to be enough to win this game. Like, they're going to have to score again to win this game. And it's exactly right. The Jets ended up getting 20 points. So, thankfully, the Falcons did get that late touchdown. That was a perfect drive. Did exactly what they needed to do. The Jets simply couldn't recover from that. And it was a good game. And we will continue to talk about that on next week's show. Obviously, no Falcons game this weekend, but we'll continue discussing the team, and hopefully we'll get some updates on Calvin Ridley, Russell Gage, their status, and hopefully some other players too. We'll see in terms of guys like Josh Andrews, who would be nice depth to have at this point. Matt Gono, hopefully he'll be coming back at some point. Again, guys, please do like and subscribe if you haven't done that already. Check out the Patreon page and the Discord. Links to both of those are in the show description. Before we take off, I want to thank my co-host tonight. First of all, shout out to Evan Birchfield for getting Andre Rison on. Really appreciate that. I know Evan was having some technical difficulties of his own. The Saints were really hacking our show tonight. Luckily, the three of us were able to stay on the air. But thank you to Evan. Evan's at Evan Birchfield on Twitter, guys, and check out the Falcoholic Instagram as well. Also with us tonight, we have Adnan Ikic. He is at Say Which Way. Adnan, anything you'd like to plug this week?
I'm writing a bi-week article detailing the reasons to be optimistic for the Falcons for the rest of the season. That should be going tomorrow.
Yeah, cool. Check that out, guys, for sure. Also with us tonight, we have Eric Robinson. He is at _Eric_Robinson. Eric, anything you're working on you'd like to plug?
Actually, I'm not. There's nothing. It's a bye week. I mean, I usually would have a game preview, but I don't have a
no game. Yeah, so
no game preview.
Just relaxing. Yep.
Yeah, I'll try to pick up something.
some kind of content. There'll be content always on the Falcoholic.com, even if it's not from us. So
maybe I can get started on that mock draft. Never mind.
Yeah, no, we said we would put it up. They won this week. We said we would put the draft takes off.
If they had lost this week, it would have been mock draft.
Oh yeah, this would be big time mock draft season. I already did one, but it was just a 3-rounder. It was just a 3-rounder, not a full mock draft. So we're still. I think I've
definitely started watching tape.
Yeah, I've definitely started looking into guys at least a little bit.
For sure.
Yep. And
who
guys,
have you looked at the most? Who
let's
have you
see.
Looked at the
I mean,
most?
just like the big names, like Evan Neal, Kyle Hamilton. The
what position
quarterbacks.
have you looked at the most?
I mean, I looked at like Malik Willis, and I looked at Matt. I guess I've watched like 3 quarterbacks. Like I've watched Matt Corral and Malik Willis and Sam Howell. I do think Matt Corral's having a great year, but I still like Malik Willis. He's my guilty pleasure. So.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, right now I'm kind of I like Evan Neal a lot too. If they decide they don't want to go the quarterback route, and they were still picking in the top 10, but if they're outside the top 10, which is where they'd probably be now,
they're 8th now.
Yeah, they might still have a shot at Evan Neal if they're 8th. Maybe, probably not. But
this draft is definitely going to be different. It's not going to be quarterback heavy at the top like it was this past year. I would be surprised, honestly, if we get.
I think Corral will probably go like early, but
2, maybe 3 quarterbacks this year, maybe.
Yeah.
And I honestly can see a case where there may not be a quarterback taken in the top 10. Honestly, I can see it. If there's no trades, I can see that possibly happening.
Yeah, and I don't think the Falcons are going to force it. I think they'd probably like to have a quarterback if one falls to them, but they're not going to force it. So,
but I want people to pay attention. Like, they are scouting quarterbacks.
Like, they were at the Malik Willis Syracuse game. So
You've been to 2 Ole Miss games this season, looking at Matt Corral. Like, I would just pay attention.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Definitely keep that on your radar. I mean, I think they're probably going to be picking in the mid-teens. That's my guess still. I think, if Malik Willis, Matt Corral are there, you consider it, but I don't think they're going to be trading up for any of these guys at this point. Kieran, I would love Jordan Davis too, but if we're picking in the mid-teens, I don't know if he'll be there. I would love that though. That would be really cool. All right, guys, I'm Kevin Knight at Falcoholic Kevin. I'll have stuff coming out this week, stuff coming out next week. Hopefully I'll get all 22 Game Pass at some point. Maybe since it's the bye week, they'll have it to me before, the next game starts, so I can actually do a video film breakdown. So that would be cool if we could get that going. But otherwise, I'll have written stuff. And we will have another show for you guys next Wednesday with some more special guests we're working on. So yeah, I just really appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight. Really appreciate Andre Rison for coming on and delivering some really scorching takes and just really giving us the inside scoop on his career. A lot of fun to talk to him. Hopefully we'll be able to get him back on with fewer technical difficulties, but we appreciate him sticking through it and delivering those takes all the same. So for all of us, guys, thank you so much for watching. We will talk to you next Wednesday at 8:10 p.m. You guys know when, here on the Falcoholic Live. Enjoy your stress-free football Sunday and have a great night, folks. See you then.